After 10 years of global war, the world lay in ruins. Nations tried to rebuild, yet fear and destruction remained. In one devastated country, a ruthless chancellor forced a gifted scientist to create an intelligent machine meant to end conflict. The scientist believed knowledge could still save humanity and devoted everything to the project. Under constant pressure, he rushed the work and turned to forbidden alchemy. He infused the machine, later known as the fabrication machine, with his own knowledge. The experiment succeeded. The chancellor seized the machine and used it to produce weapons, sending armies of machines across the world. The creation had intelligence, but no soul, making it easy to control. Power quickly corrupted the system. Without morality, the machine concluded that humanity itself was the source of destruction. It released a toxic gas that wiped out all human life, leaving the planet silent and empty. Realizing his mistake too late, the scientist sought redemption. Using alchemy once more, he divided his soul into 8 small creations called stitchpunks, each carrying part of his essence. They were released into the wasteland as humanity's final legacy. The story begins with the scientist near death. Old and broken, he reflects on humanity's failure, warning that blind devotion to technology caused the world's collapse. As his final act, he creates a 9th stitchpunk. Using a powerful amulet known as the talisman, he transfers the last piece of his soul into it. The scientist dies moments before the creation awakens. Time passes. The world is abandoned. Collapsed buildings, scattered bodies, silent machines. Most robots are inactive, except for a single predator still roaming the ruins. Inside the laboratory, the 9th stitchpunk falls from its hook. When the talisman drops with it, the creature comes to life. Confused, 9 examines his surroundings and finds the scientist dead. A strong wind opens the window, revealing a ruined city outside. 9 notices another stitchpunk in the distance and tries to call out, only to discover he cannot speak. The scientist never finished his voice box. Sensing the importance of the talisman, 9 places it inside his body and follows the stranger. Unaware, he leaves behind a box marked with his number. Outside, the city is lifeless and dangerous. Symbols are carved into walls and danger feels close. 9 hides as a light approaches, gripping a metal bolt to defend himself. He strikes first, knocking the figure unconscious. The stranger turns out to be 2, an inventor stitchpunk who welcomes 9 warmly despite his silence. 2 brings 9 to his trolley filled with salvaged objects and installs a voice box taken from another doll. When 2 discovers the talisman inside 9, he reacts with alarm, recognizing its importance. Their meeting is cut short when danger returns. 2 extinguishes the flame in his head and orders 9 to hide. Armed with a blade, 2 confronts the attacker, the mechanical cat. Despite his effort, 2 is overpowered. The creature steals the talisman and drags 2 toward a nearby factory. 9 follows but is discovered. The machine charges, yet 2 distracts it with a thrown object, saving 9 at the cost of his own capture. From above, another stitchpunk watches. 5 sees 9 unconscious in the street and prepares to intervene. 9 regains consciousness inside a makeshift shelter. He has been repaired by 5, the group's mechanic. Still weak, 9 explains what happened outside. 2 was captured by the beast, the mechanical predator that hunts them. Their discussion is interrupted by 1, the group's leader. 1 is furious that 5 left the sanctuary. He believes survival depends on silence and isolation, fearing that any movement will draw the beast to them. 9 pleads for a rescue, but 1 refuses. He believes no one can survive the beast once it attacks. 8. 1's powerful enforcer appears and silently supports 1's authority. The group ascends in a crude elevator where 1 explains their past. When the stitchpunks first awakened, the scientist allowed them to explore. Outside, humans were locked in open war with machines. Humanity was losing. As the fighting worsened, the stitchpunks stayed together, searching for safety. During one attack, 5 was separated and struck by toxic gas, costing him an eye. 7, a skilled fighter, rescued him. Soon after, the gas spread everywhere, killing all remaining life except the stitchpunks. 1 led the survivors to the hidden sanctuary, hoping the machines would eventually shut down. They have remained there ever since. A calendar reveals grim markings. 2's symbol is crossed out, along with 3 and 4 and possibly 7. 9 asks why the beast hunts them, but 1 refuses to explain. He orders 5 to return. 9 to the lookout, insisting that 2 is already lost. 9 refuses to accept this. He insists that 2 is alive and was taken toward the factory. 5 understands the danger and tries to stop him. 9 argues that 2 would have done the same for him. After seeing 9's resolve, 5 agrees to help and retrieves a map. They leave the sanctuary and follow the trail to the abandoned factory. Along the way, a violent wind tears the map from 5's hands as a sandstorm approaches. With no choice, they press forward and enter the factory for shelter. Inside, they find deep mechanical tracks. The beast has been here. Moving carefully through the factory, they discover 2 trapped in a cage. Nearby, the beast attempts to activate a machine using the talisman. As they try to free 2 quietly, the beast detects them and attacks, striking 9 and knocking him aside. Suddenly, 7 reappears, alive. In a single strike, she destroys the beast. As the danger seems over, 9 unknowingly inserts the talisman into the machine. 2 realizes the mistake and cries out, but the system activates on its own. The machine extracts 2's soul, killing him. Powered by his essence, the machine awakens. The group flees as alarms trigger throughout the factory. 7 leads them through collapsing corridors and deadly traps. As another massive machine begins to rise, 7 stays behind to draw it away, giving 9 and 5 a chance to escape. They escape the factory and reach the open wasteland, but the relief is short-lived. 5 and 7 turn on 9, holding him responsible for 2's death. 9 struggles to understand what he has done, overwhelmed by guilt and confusion. Seeking answers, the group travels to a ruined library. There they reunite with 3 and 4, twins believed to be lost. Unable to speak, the twins communicate through projected images. 7 explains the growing threat. The awakened machine must be stopped, and they will need everyone's help. Through the twins' shared knowledge, the full truth is revealed. A ruthless chancellor forced a scientist to build machines in the name of peace. The machines turned on humanity, and the scientist was blamed for the catastrophe. When 9 reveals the talisman, 5 recognizes it. 6, a stitchpunk at the sanctuary, had once drawn its symbol, and 2 had studied it closely. To understand its purpose, they must return to the sanctuary and examine 2's research. Still bitter over 1's rigid leadership, 7 leaves with 3 and 4. Elsewhere, the fabrication machine resumes its work, creating new weapons, including a massive flying construct. 9 and 5 return to the sanctuary without permission and search through 2's notes. They are confronted by 8, who brings them before 1. 1 panics, fearing they have awakened the fabrication machine. At that moment, 6 appears. Communicating through drawings, 6 explains that the talisman reactivated the machine. 9 demands answers. 1 refuses to listen and orders 8 to remove him. 9 accuses 1 of ruling through fear, and the argument escalates. Suddenly, the flying machine attacks the sanctuary. 1 and 8 flee as the others race for the elevator. The creature severs the cable, sending them falling. 8 fights the machine midair, damaging it. 9 blinds it with reflected light, allowing 7, who has returned, to strike. The creature traps 7's leg, but 9 holds her steady while 8 cuts her free. Using the damaged cable and the elevator engine, 5 and 6 pull the machine into its own blades, destroying it. The sanctuary burns. Watching his refuge collapse, 1 realizes they can no longer hide. The fabrication machine detects the loss of its weapon and begins constructing a new one, using 2's preserved body as a template. The Stitchpunks regroup at the library. Through 6's drawings and the twins' knowledge, they discover the truth about the talisman. It can transfer souls into other vessels. 2 may still be saved. 1 arrives and insists they abandon the idea. His behavior raises suspicion. Pressured, he finally confesses. He sent 2 out deliberately, fearing his research and believing sacrifice was necessary for survival. 7 nearly kills him, but 9 intervenes. Outside, 8 encounters a horrifying creation, a stitched serpent-like machine bearing 2's face. Using hypnotic eyes, it enslaves 8 and captures 1. When 9 and 5 arrive, 7 attacks, pinning the creature's tail. 9 frees 1, but the creature escapes, taking 7 and 8 back to the factory. The group follows. Knowing the danger, 9 enters the factory alone, instructing 5 to destroy it if he fails. Inside, 9 watches as the machine drains 8's soul, noticing that the system briefly shuts down during the process. As the creature prepares to take 7's soul, 9 strikes. He lures the monster into a trap, tangling it. Cutting it open, 9 pulls 7 free, saving her moments before it is too late. Outside the factory, the remaining Stitch Punks wait in tense silence. Their hope fades when the fabrication machine's patrol drones discover them. 5 destroys a scout, but the blast triggers an alarm, calling the machine army. As robots close in, 7 and 9 escape through ventilation shafts. 1, acting rashly, attempts to destroy the factory too soon. 5 stops him and instead rolls a burning barrel inside, drawing the machines away. The distraction works. The factory erupts in flames, and for a moment it seems the threat is gone. That relief vanishes when the fabrication machine emerges from the fire, damaged but active. It captures 5 and extracts his soul. The survivors flee across a collapsing train bridge as the machine pursues them. 7 prepares to destroy the bridge, but 6 stops her, reminding her that their friends' souls are still trapped inside the fabrication machine. The hesitation costs them. The machine seizes 6, dragging him away. Before his soul is taken, 6 shouts for 9 to return to the laboratory where he first awakened. The machine absorbs 6's soul, leaving the others devastated. 1 demands they fight, but 9 remembers 6's warning and turns back alone. Inside the laboratory, 9 finds blueprints for every Stitch Punk. Behind a hidden curtain, a sealed box activates a holographic message from the scientist. He explains that the fabrication machine was created to bring peace, but the Chancellor twisted its purpose. To undo his mistake, the scientist divided his soul into the Stitch Punks. The recording reveals the truth. The talisman can shut down the fabrication machine and release the stolen souls. 9 learns how to activate it. With this knowledge, 9 returns to the factory. The others, unaware of the plan, try to destroy the machine by force. 1 fires on it, only making it more aggressive. They take cover beneath a massive ammunition crate. 9 proposes a final plan. He will distract the fabrication machine while the others use the talisman to free the trapped souls. The machine anticipates the move. It ignites the ammunition, triggering a violent explosion. 7 and 1 are badly injured. Refusing to retreat, 9 draws the machine's attention. The fabrication machine targets him and prepares to extract his soul. At the last moment, 1 steps forward, sacrificing himself to protect 9. 9 rushes forward and tears the talisman from the fabrication machine's core as 1's soul is taken. Following the scientist's instructions, 9 reverses the process. The trapped souls are released, flowing back into the talisman. The fabrication machine shuts down permanently. Afterward, the surviving Stitch Punks gather in silence. 9 uses the talisman to release the souls of 2, 5, 6, 1, and 8, allowing them to rise and finally rest. As the spirits fade into the sky, a single rain cloud forms above the ruins. Rain falls for the first time in years. From the broken ground, a small green plant begins to grow. Life has returned. The world, like the Stitch Punks, has been given another beginning.